This is EROI English Broadcast. EROI English Broadcast presents Diction Avenue.
It's another beautiful Wednesday evening here on Galaxy Television, and it is about time for you to join us on Diction Avenue, where we learn how to speak right and sound right. My name is Abigail Anaba, and today I promise you a bounty program. We'll be talking about a sound like we did last week. We'll also be taking a reading of a very interesting story. I'm sure you're going to enjoy listening to that story as well. In addition, we're going to be learning 10 new words in our words of the week. And then, of course, we have our presentation. And today we have the pupils of Little Light School and Mayors International School. I promised you, and I promise again, it's going to be a rich program today. But before we start off the program, last week I forgot to do something. I didn't give out the answer to the question of the week last week. And that question was on the long E sound. Which of the words has a long E sound? So if you had sent in the answer A to the question, yes, that was the correct answer. Phoenix, spelled P-H-O-E-N-I-X, was the word with the long E sound. Today we're going to take another question, and if you have your phones ready, it's time to be part of the show. We're sending our question of the day, and that question will be up in a bit. And this time we have 4 pictures. Aha, there you have it, 4 pictures. And which of these pictures do you think contains that sound, the R sound? So you have A, B, C, or D. Which of these pictures contains the R sound? Well, if you know the correct answer to that question, send your answer to the number 0805 584 9525. Again, the number is 0805 584 9525. Do not forget to include your name and where you're sending your answer from. Which of these pictures contains the R sound? And that about sets the tune. Today we're going to be discussing the R sound. Well, as said, that sound is the long A sound, and it sounds R. If you have ever had to visit the dentist, and the dentist says, open your mouth, say R, and you go R, that's the sound. And if you have ever had to exclaim R, that's the sound too. So that's the sound R. In our native languages here in Nigeria, we do have that sound. I believe that all African languages, it's actually a universal sound. All African languages have that sound. So there shouldn't be a difficulty with saying that sound at all. Just remember that it's a long sound, and so you should give it the required length. Well, the difficulty again, as with the long E sound, is telling which letters actually produce this sound. Because you might know the sound, but then when you see it in the spelling, you may not be able to tell whether the word has that sound. So some of the spelling variants we'll be looking at. Spelling variants for the R sound include A, A-R, E-A-R, A-L, where the L is silent, and then ER. So those are spelling variants for the R sound. And when we say spelling variants, we're talking about the different letters that can spell that sound. When you see these letters combined with consonants in a word, there is a likelihood that it would have the R sound. Remember that spelling variants are not in any way telling you that anytime you see the letter it spells the sound. No, it's saying there is a likelihood, because in the English language some letters have more than one sound. That's how it works. So let's look at word examples. We're going to be looking at word examples for the R sound, and here we have some of them. We have 4 words here. Pass, where the letter A says the sound R. Pass. We have father. Again, the letter A has the sound there. We have heart. And in the word heart is the E-A-R that gives you the sound R. So heart. And the final word we have there is clock. Yeah, I do know that some people go cleck when they see this word, because they think that the ER there actually has the sound, because yeah, the letter ER also says but in this instance ER says R, so the word is clock. Another thing to note about how you say this sound is that there's an American and a British way to say it. The Americans would add the R factor. We call that a rhotic factor. So they would always go clock if they are to say that sound. But it's the British wouldn't do that. They would go clock. Again, some words which has the R sound, which the British would say with the R sound, the Americans will use the short A sound for it. So you would hear some people say pass instead of pause, and especially when it's just the letter A that says the word R, you would have instances where it would have the short A sound and not the long R or the long A sound. But let's go ahead and take some more spelling examples for the R sound, and we have our next set of words. There you have bark. The AR in bark has the R sound. We have calm, and that's an example where the letter L is silent. So you don't go calm. The L there is silent, and so you go calm, calm. Of course, there are other words like palm, bomb, which also work like this. Path, that's another word where the letter A standing alone has the R sound. Path. And the final word we have there is psalm. Of course, psalm has two silent letters. The first P is silent, the L is silent, but the A and L with a silent L gives you the sound R. So as I said just a few moments ago, when you see the letter A standing alone, there's a likelihood that it might also have the short A sound. So as we usually would say on the avenue, check your dictionary to be sure before you go into any argument with people as to whether the sound is the short A or the long A. Take a look at the dictionary and see if there are spelling, whether there are pronunciation variants, because a word can have more than one pronunciation. And something to note with the short A sound, as we did with the long E sound last week, the note is that the short A sound in our native languages is shorter than the English R. The A sound in our native languages is shorter than the English R. So when saying words with this sound, we say the part of the word that contains the sound louder. And that's what's responsible for when we say father. We don't just go father. We go father, because the first part of the word contains the R sound and should be said loud and strong. So father and not father. Lather and not ladder. So when you come across the R sound in a part of a word, you should say it loud and strong. Make it a little longer than the A in your native language. Make it R. Alright? And at the beginning of the show, I did give out a question for the week, and I have a good number of answers to that question. I am going to ask that question again before we take our reading for the day. And if we can recall that first slide, the question of the day is, which of these pictures contains the R sound? Of course, the R sound is the sound we're taking today. So we're looking at 4 pictures that are provided, and the question is, which of these pictures contains the R sound? I'm sure we're good. There you have it now. Which of the pictures contains the R sound? So is it A, B, C, or D? What do you think? Your answer goes to the number 0805 584-9525. Again, 0805-584-9525. Do include your name and where you're texting us from when you do answer the question. At this point, we're going to take our reading for the week, and when we're done with that, we'll be meeting the pupils of Mayor School and Little Light School for their presentation. But before that, we're going to take our reading for the week, and our reading is on Timmy the cat. Please don't go away.
It's reading time!
Timmy's Promise. Timmy liked to dig up holes. It made him laugh to see the little rodents scurry out in fright and scamper about for safety. Every evening he would go out to the garden and look for rodent holes. Mommy Cat was not happy about this. "Leave the rodents alone," she said. But Timmy would not listen. "I'm a cat, Mom," he would say to her. "I love digging holes." Digging up holes is quite dangerous for a kitten like you. There could be something else down there. "Oh, Mommy, you worry too much," he replied. Mommy Cat was right to be worried. There could be scorpions or snakes in the hole, and she told Timmy so. And so Timmy promised he would not dig up holes anymore. One evening after dinner, Timmy went on a walk in the garden. He suddenly came face to face with a hole that looked freshly dug. At first, Timmy turned away. "I promised Mom I would never dig holes again." And then he took a second look. "This would be my last," he promised himself with his fingers crossed. Timmy immediately started digging, his heart racing rapidly as he excitedly imagined how the rats would race out in fright. "Arr!" Timmy screamed, and his mother came running. "Sssss!" he hissed in pain. He had been bitten by a snake.
The end.
Welcome back. I am sure you enjoyed the story of Timmy's Promise, and if you listened to that story, you would have learned something about keeping your promise, and perhaps something that you felt is fun might not be all that fun. Yeah, so let's keep our promise when we do make one. As I promised before the break, yeah, I'm keeping my promise. I have two pupils right here with us. I have Umaru from Mayor School, and I have Badmus from Little Light School, and they both have presentations to make for us today, which I am very, very sure you're going to enjoy. Well, so we're just going to dive right in and have those presentations. So I'm going to start with Badmus. So go ahead and make your presentation.
I'm Badmus Modebala, Little Light School, Gawan Estate, Ikpaja. Topic: spelling. When we spell, we take note of how many parts of word is. Each part is called a syllable. So first, we break longer words into syllables. We check if they have double letters. Let's go to the word of examples now and see how words are spelled. Diabolical, D-I-A-B-O-L-I-C-A-L, diabolical. Multiplication, M-U-L-T-I-P-L-I-C-A-T-I-O-N, multiplication. Generosity, G-E-N-E-R-O-S-I-T-Y, generosity. Curiosity, C-U-R-O-S-I-T-Y, curiosity. And remember, your accent is your asset. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Badmus. I love something that you did, which is the way you pronounce clearly the words before you spelled them. The way you said diabolical. I know that a lot of people cannot even pronounce that word, but here you are. You not only pronounced it, but you spelled it correctly. Well done, Badmus. You should be proud of yourself. Well done. And we're going to turn now to Umaru. And Umaru is going to be making a presentation on reading?
Reading tips.
All right, go ahead, Umaru.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Vaniel Rahman. I'm a pupil of Mayors International School, Ikeja. I'm here to make a presentation on reading tips. When we read, we do not say words as if they're standing alone. We join them to make a group, standing side by side and holding hands. We join the last letter of the word to the first letter of the word next to it. It's reading time. Can you remember the things you checked before reading? We're going to call them our pre-reading checklist. Get the pencils ready and let's go through the passage. After this, we'll take our reading. 1. Go through the passage. 2. Check which words should connect. 3. Check which words should not connect. 4. Use your pencil to underline the words that connect. 5. Is there a question in the passage? 6. Underline the questions in the passage. 7. Underline the questions in the question zone. 8. Read everything to yourself. 9. Does the reading make sense to you? Can you explain what you've just read? Your teacher will give some time to prepare to read out loud. Now raise your hand and volunteer to read. Reading. Answer. As I told you before, that would leave the teacher grinning with envy. He had been feeling watched all morning as he hunted for games for tonight's dinner. He had every intention of catching nothing less than an antelope. His sister Suto was coming with his family and he promised Mama that he would make her proud. He had been taught the art of hunting games by a couple of blessed memories and he learned very well. Speak right, your asset is our asset. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Umaru, and you can breathe a sigh of relief. That was beautiful. Well done. I love the way you went through that checklist and all the things that are contained in that checklist that we must go through when we want to read. That was wonderful. Well done, Umaru. Now we're going to look at the phone lines and see what answers have come in to the question of the day. Remember, at the beginning of the show, I did give out the question of the day, which is, which of these pictures contains the R sound? And that's the question of the day. You still have an opportunity to send in your answers to the question of the day. The number to text is 0805 584 9525. Now let's just take a look at some of those questions, some of the answers, not the questions. Let's look at some of the answers. And this is Anu Oluwaposi from Abulegba, who sent in a wrong answer. Thanks, Anu Oluwapo. This is Odoguyi from Ikorodu. Oh, sorry. This is from Odoguyi, Ikorodu. Yeah, Lagos. And that is also a wrong answer. This is Onyedi Emmanuel. Oh, Onyedikachi Emmanuel from Iju Road, Ifako. Well done, Onyedikachi. You actually sent in a correct answer to that question. And this is Bukola from Ikotu. Bukola sent in a wrong answer. Thanks for participating, Bukola. This is Owolabi, who also sent in a correct answer. Owolabi Oluwatobi, thank you very much for your answer, and that was the correct one. This is Bashman from Vom Jos, Plateau State. Sorry, that was a wrong answer you sent in. This is Chuku Daniel from Alagbado, who has a correct answer. Well, I'm going to pause taking the answers now. You still have an opportunity to text us, and I'm going to take a question that we got during the week on Ask Anything English. And on Ask Anything English, I got this question which I'm deciding to treat today on the Avenue. And the question goes thus. Good morning, ma. We do enjoy your program. Thank you very much. Please, ma, what title can we use for a girl and a boy? Like a man, we use Mr. Well, the question is on titles. Which title should we use when we're talking about men or women? Well, for boys, it's quite easy. For all males, it is easy. Just say Mr. Because Mr. is abbreviated as MR, Mr. So all males are referred to as Misters, whether they are old, whether they are young. In the past, they used to use Master for younger boys, but that's dated. Nobody does that anymore. So you just use Mr. for men. But for women, it's a little different. You have 3 different titles that you can use for women. A married woman may choose to be referred to as a Mrs. And Mrs. is MRS. You can see there the way it is pronounced and the way it's spelled. You also have Miss for unmarried young girls. You say Miss. Also, a married woman who is using her maiden name might say Miss. So if I choose to use my maiden name, you could call me Miss Abigail with my maiden name. That's my surname, my father's name. All right. But then there's another title which you can also use for single or married women. If you do not know whether they are married or not, you can say Ms. Now the difference between Miss and Ms is the final sound. For a single person, you go Miss, and for a single young lady, you go Miss. But for someone who just you're not sure if they're married or not, you go Ms, and that's MS. And then there is a final group of people who do not want to say whether they are men or women. Maybe you're receiving a correspondence from someone and the person doesn't want to indicate whether he's a man or a woman. The final title there, MX, is what you can use, and it's pronounced mix. Alright, so it's either Mr., Mrs., Ms., Ms, or mix. Whichever you choose, that is the title you would use. Remember that you can always send us your questions on Ask Anything English. You can send questions through the Institute of Certified Communicators on Facebook. You can tweet at ecom.ng on Twitter. You can send an email to admin@ecom.ng, or you can send us a WhatsApp message with a 5584-9525. And now we're going to take our words of the week, and then when we come back, we will take more answers and then the answer to the question of the day. Don't go away.
Speak right. Your accent is your asset. Words of the week. Feel. Feel. Oh. Feel. Money. 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 Morning. 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 Garage. 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 Television. 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 Revision. 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 Mathematics. 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 Trouble. 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 Police. 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 Girl. Girl. Speak right. Your accent is your asset.
Welcome back, and I hope you did get a hang of those 10 words. You repeated them, and now you know how to say them right. Well, we have Adeyemi Sharafa Remy, who wrote in from Iju and sent in a correct answer to our question of the day. We also have Delilah Oladile from Mera, also with a correct answer to our question for the day. And the final one we will take is Husseina Suleiman from Ipaja, whose answer was unfortunately wrong. So we go to our question of the day. What is the correct answer? Which of these pictures contains the R sound? The correct answer is A, and there you have our cart. Cart is the correct answer. Not B. B is cat, which has a short sound. C is ant, which has a short sound. And D is apple, which also has the short A sound. The only word there which has a long A sound is cart. So the answer is A. And that is about all we can take on the Avenue today. I hope you had fun tuning in to be with us today. I certainly had fun with Badmus and Umaru, who made fantastic presentations and added some beautiful spice to the show today. Next week is another date to keep with us on the Avenue, where we're going to learn more how you can speak right, sound right, and sound English, because your accent is your asset. See you next week.